Hello, 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 family. Welcome back to the Reiki Healing Hope community. I'm so excited today. We have a special healing. We're going to do a hand movement healing. So I often hear that you all like my fingers. So I'm going to just dedicate this practice today just to have some wonderful, relaxing hand movements. We'll get into our regular healing, but the focus here is just following the hands or the gaze, meaning looking. So just relax and zone out a little bit and we'll get started. So if you're new to the community, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, but most importantly, to comment, because I love to hear what's going on with you all. I only ask that if you do choose to comment, you comment for the highest vibrational good only, so that we keep this a safe community that we all love coming back to. So, as we do with all of our practice, we started out with a prayer. It is not a religious prayer, just a prayer to connect us in community. So since consent matters, do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay. May I take your hand? Dear Mother, Father God, and all for our highest good, please connect us to the Reiki Masters, the Ascended Masters, Master Jesus, Master Buddha, Master Kutumi, the Archangels, the spirit, animal spirit, guide ancestors lineage, the balance between the divine feminine and sacred masculine, and all of our highest vibrational good only. May we move forward in our evolutionary path, letting go everything that is no longer serving us to the transformational flame of Saint Germain. I say all of this in the name of I Am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. So the stones that we're working with today is clear quartz, just using it as a wand to channel in the healing, as well as petrified wood, which is something that we've used before. So what we're doing there is we really want to kind of dig in deep, clear out all of that junk, and then be able to just raise our vibrations, our energetic vibrations, just a little bit. So let's go ahead and get our Palo Santo and clear us out. I'm going to let you see that, just so you know what's going on. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Putting that down there. And just going around your aura. It's more about being light and airy. Good job. Beautiful. Good job. You're okay. Now, if you've been feeling a little sick, whether that's under the weather or chronic conditions that have been flaring up, just use this to relax, to follow the hands, to have patience towards yourself, to have love towards yourself, to have understanding towards yourself. I know sometimes it can get a little frustrated if you're going back and forth and back and forth and you think that you're somewhere and you're not there yet, but you're like, look, I already got there. Just have patience with yourself. Inhale. 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 Good job. I'm going to keep that to the side right there. And now I'm just going to clear out. Let me move this candle so that you can see it better. Okay. Boom. I'm going to clear out here. I'm just working in the aura field. Just giving you an opportunity to relax here. Recently, I've been really thinking about feminine energy, goddess energy. I've thought about the prayer that I say at the beginning of our practice. And though everything in energy is neutral, it's not necessarily gendered. It has certain qualities, like a balance between feminine and masculine, or more feminine or more masculine. I know that a lot of the ascended masters that I list by name, I have been or understood to be incarnated as men. And I wanted to talk about that a little bit. And the reason why I want to talk about that is because just a understanding of, in a world at a particular time where, and I try to keep it real, so where, patriarchy and misogyny, it was on the rise. The idea of energy coming into this life in a way that would be received by humanity is one of many perspectives. So perhaps these great people were incarnated as men because of the times. Now, time out. I'm not saying that it is only men who are doing these wonderful things. I'm saying that it's probably going to take a little bit more focus on these feminine goddess, feminine ascended masters that are very much so in the mix and that have helped us tremendously. And so I have tasked myself to do some more research because I want to be able to add the ascended masters that are incarnated as female in these lives, or even if they're not on that binary of female and male, that they be represented that they be represented in the prayer as well. I'm not getting any complaints from anyone. It's more of something that I feel like I'm being called to do, because again, energy itself is very much so gender neutral, but it incarnates based off of the time and where we're at. And we're lucky in that nowadays, maybe not in the whole world, but in places in the world, that there is this rise of femininity, that when we look at the culture, the Me Too culture, that it's things that have been happening for generations that are now being taken serious now. And so it's more of a clearing out and more of a balancing of that sacred masculine with the divine feminine. We have to bring that feminine energy in. That feminine energy is also a representation of the moon. Without the moon, we wouldn't have the tides in the water. So this is just something that I have been thinking and reflecting on, and I wanted to share with community. And I try to be careful in how I present things, because I definitely am not doing it to ruffle feathers or even to just be quiet and be accommodating. I'm just giving you my honest take on it. So I've been running across a few goddesses, and I'm having a great time, so I'm definitely going to add that into the mix so that we channel that energy, especially at a time where, when we look at the sacred masculine is about protection, is about strength, is about being grounded, is about being balanced. But on the other side of masculine, sacred masculine, the unbalanced sides are anger, money hungry, power hungry. Money hungry is more of being power hungry, because you feel very, very insecure in all of these things. Not a strong emotional balance, not a strong mental balance. So we can see in the world that now it's coming into the forefront, I would say at least in some of the media, where we see this imbalance of that sacred masculine. And in order to pull it back, we need that divine feminine to come in and balance that. So bringing that in, nurturing, compassion, love, but also boundaries. Boundaries is something that can be found on both sides. Okay? Boundaries can be found on both sides, sacred, masculine, and divine feminine. So bringing that in. So I just want you to look at your own life and whatever traits that you have. doesn't matter really what your gender is, but what traits that you feel most attracted to in the moment, that you feel open about them, and that you really examine what's going on. How does it feel? Do you feel balanced? Do you feel in control? So just giving yourselves a couple of moments here. And I'm just going to do some Reiki symbols. Okay. Breathing in, and you're looking at this balance in your working life, personal life, family, friends. I want you to just look at it with your friends. Who are you with your friends? Are you the grounded one? Are you the nurturing one? Are you the one who's always down to do something? Are you the one who's like, let's Netflix binge? Which one are you in that space of your friendships? Okay, and I'm going to just clear out your aura a little bit. Finding space here. Finding balance here. Finding love. Finding compassion. Okay. Just resting your eyes. Resting your eyes. Breathing in that balance. Remembering to be balanced. Sometimes we need to be a little bit more of one side if we feel that we have an imbalance of the other side. But at the end of the day, we want to have this balance. We want that protection and that confidence and groundedness, as well as we want that compassion and that love. But most importantly, we want boundaries so that we know when to do these things, when not to do these things, when to be open, when to be closed, when to move forward in our spiritual path. Just take your time. Take your time. Take your time. You're doing a good job. Being patient. Relax. Relax, relax, relax. You are balanced. You are balanced. You are balanced. You are balanced. 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 You are balanced. You are balanced. Okay. So I'm going to start to pull out anything taking up too much space. You can go ahead and send that to the transformational flame of Saint Germain so it can move on to its next evolutionary path. Pulling out anything taking up too much space and coming channel birthday. So I have to think about something special for us to do during that time. Okay. Couple more moments. Okay, good job, good job. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, continue to breathe here and just relax. So, you did a fantastic job today. This was not too hard, just for you to relax. So let's go ahead and close ourselves on up. Okay. Just bringing our hands together. I'm going to go ahead and say a prayer. Thank you for allowing us to connect this community. Continue to go forward on our spiritual path. Anchoring down and rooting in our individual healing path. With all the reverence and gratitude towards life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Amen. Ashe. I am. Okay. Beautiful. Good job. You did a wonderful, wonderful job. And I'll just close you up right there. Good job. Reciprocity. Okay. So you did a fantastic job, and if no one has said it to you today, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I love you. I'm so happy for you. So proud for you. And, happy holiday coming up. It's definitely a time to reflect on our native people, specifically in the U.S., indigenous people in the U.S., a rich and thorough legacy, the very grim legacy that the U.S. has built, and all of the wisdom that we have gained from indigenous people. When we look at things like shamanism, though shamanism is something that has shown up in all, parts of the world, I know for myself, my first thought is to think of, or my first visualization is someone who is indigenous. And I think of that there is something very sacred and that deserves reverence and homage. And having that energy and the balance that we talked about today is super, super important. So if you have an opportunity to do some research or learn a little bit more about various indigenous cultures during this holiday time, I really encourage you to do so that you have the opportunity to really understand and widen your knowledge, and to have the greatest respect for these legacies that come before. So until next time, if no one said it to you, I'm going to go ahead and say it to you. I love you. I'm so excited for what you have going on, and just relax,